Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, everyone. Good to have you here. It's 7:15 here in Ireland. Good to have you. Wanderlei it is with me here, but he's having some trouble with his laptop.
Yep.
Yeah, I like your name with Samantha's pictures, huh?
Yeah, someone else did that, not me. So what can I say?
It wasn't me. See, again. Yeah. So I hope you're okay, guys. Hope you're having a good day. And here we already have the winter and so on. Let's see. Today talk we will finish chapter 11, items 13 to 15. So with this item 15, we will finish chapter 11. Now its chapters are very short, and we can work with that. Anyway, so let me do the initial prayer, because Wanderlei it's still have problems with 10 to new for the laptop. So I want to invite everyone, if it's possible, if you can, to close your eyes, open up your heart, and let's make connection with superior spirits, asking them to send over us some enlightenment in order to help us with our duties, our tasks, our mission. And somehow these good vibrations reach out our brothers and sisters who are sick, who are suffering from depression, thinking about suicide. So be it. Amen. Okay. Okay. Let's start our discussion today. The topic of the item is faith and charity. Okay, this is something Wanderlei I would like to talk about, and I don't see any. And the first question I would say, like, why? Reading the text, we see they're saying the faith it's important. Like charity without faith is not enough. Charity without faith is not possible. And the big question here is why faith is considered so important to keep us on pathway for happiness. I think that's the main question, because we are saying we all want to be happy, and we all were created to be happy. Our let's say our final station in this journey, it's happiness. And why we have here faith as a important ingredient in this in this bag here? Do you have an idea, Vanderlei?
And that's a complex part, I believe, from the gospel, because here the spirits, they're going to challenge several ideas that we have. But I believe once we are talking about faith, perhaps it's not the faith in religion, but it's the hope, the intention to help someone. It's the idea that you're going to be giving your time, you're going to be giving the best you have, the best you can, in order to accomplish charity in the best way possible. Because sometimes people, they do charity, but they don't care. They don't care about the other, or they don't care if that action, what's the reactions after that action they are doing. Once you remember the old Christians, they used to die in the lions arena, and they didn't care because they had faith in something else. So they used to give the best they could give in that situation to God, to their beliefs, to their ideal, to their ideas, in order to inspire the others. So I believe, maybe Stevan, maybe you can correct me, but I think the main idea here is the self-denial. So you leave yourself behind in order to do something for the other. What do you think?
I'm saying you are not wrong, but it's not a case of self-denial. It is a case of I do care by my neighbor.
Yeah.
So it's something with the help of fraternity we will achieve this happiness, because I want to be happy, but I want my neighbor be happy as well.
Yeah.
So if I annul myself in order to make the other happy, this is not going to be complete, because one will be happy, the other not. In this case, what they are saying here in the text, both, or everybody, all humankind should be happy. And one of the tools to make everyone be happy is exercise the fraternity, respect the boundaries, respect their wishes, their goals, respect the other's opinion. Like fraternity doesn't mean everybody wants one same thing. I'm saying everybody wants different things, which leads everyone to the same goal in a fraternity way, cooperation. Like the old times when we have we didn't have money to exchange. Like I produce bananas, you produce lettuce, you other produce. They have the chicken, so I give me one chicken, give you two lettuce and this, and we live in a fraternity way, and everybody ends up eating bananas, lettuce, and chicken. So next example, but it's something like this. We have different missions, different abilities, and the faith is you have the faith. You must have faith in you, at least. I'm not talking faith connected to religion here.
Yeah.
Faith in God, faith in that saint, or faith in, no. That's not the faith we're talking about here. Faith is the faith we're talking about here is the ability you trust and you have full confidence in yourself.
Yeah. Makes
No.
sense. But still, it's like also when you say you have the ability, you have true confidence on ourselves, but at the same time, we have to have the same for the others. We have to have the same faith that the other, once we are helping them or they are helping us, they are doing the best they can. So I think we put ourselves in a position of equality. That okay, perhaps that person is having this issue. I'm helping this person now. But if that person will accept the help or not, it's up to that person also. But I'm doing my best. I have the faith that I'm gonna try to do the best I can, without expecting any gratification or anything. It's just like for the sake of doing, hoping that that action perhaps will help that person or someone else. And if it doesn't, you did your best.
Yeah. The faith we're talking about here is like when you have a goal in your mind and you do everything, like when you go to the gym, you want to get fit, like no pain, no gain.
Mm.
So it's hurt sometimes. Of course it hurts. But you have a goal. I want to get fit. I want to get a better health. I want to have like 5% fat in my body and all the rest is mass. So you have this faith. I will get it no matter what happened, but I will get it. So it doesn't mean you have a flawless pathway until you reach that. No, sometimes you will have the desire to give up. Sometimes you will have the desire to speed up the process, but it's a process. Even though you go every day to the gym, stay 8 hours in the gym, you will not speed up the process until you complete that phase. Correct me. I'm just using gym because you like to go to the gym. You know better than me. I can you can see by my face here. I don't used to go too much to the gym, But
No, I understand what you're saying, but what we have to try to understand here is this. This faith, as you said, is not the religious one, and that helps us doing the best as we can. It helps us with charity.
yeah,
But here, on item 14, I think there is a very controversial topic, which is charity toward criminals, which I really like the way which the Spirit starts this sentence. He says, true charity is one of the most sublime teachings that God has given to the world. Complete fraternity only exists to the disciples of these doctrines. You must love unfortunates and criminals and creatures. And he says here, yeah, so do not judge, these ones. So he's saying to us that the true charity is the most sublime teachings that God has given to us. And he's bringing us this idea that those ones, criminals or creatures of, or whoever, someone who does anything which perhaps we condemn, they are sick. They are sick people, And he says that to us, that once we see that, we turn normally to judge that one. Oh, that person is a criminal. That person does that or that. But he says also to us, regard ourselves as much more guilty than them because we have more knowledge. What I'm trying to say here, it's really nice when we talk about charity. It's really nice once we're talking about Spiritism. But we have to understand that this charity that you are always talking about is about someone, but it's about ourselves also. We have to be charitable with ourselves, but we have to be honest. So before judging anyone, be honest with yourself. If you are doing, like if that was the same with you, what would you like someone else to do? But I like when he says that, that we have to consider ourselves more guilty than the others because we have more knowledge. So this knowledge of charity, if you're just thinking about giving something to someone, you're going to be lost because that's not the charity which he's talking about here. You're going to be missing the point,
Yeah. And I like what I say here. True charity does not consist only in giving alms, nor even in the consoling words you may add to your donation. Sublime charity consists of the constant use of the benevolence in all things pertaining to your neighbor.
Yeah.
So it's what Evangelist said, not judging. Sometimes we see someone and we give the full description how it is that person without even say hi to them. We like to act as a judge. I think you Wanderlei said that movie The Shack.
Yeah.
Near to the end of the movie, they have that judgment scene. That scene is perfect
Yeah.
because
It's
we
like-
like to.
Sorry.
No, I'm saying we like to. I think that I try to find a word different for judge, but we like to
Point fingers.
point fingers. We like to make moral judgment of someone just because of their color of skin, because of the clothes they are wearing, because of the type of work they are doing, because the way they are creating they're raising their children's. So we put too many labels in this, and this is complete opposite from fraternity. Remember when we said fraternity is one way in you're gonna reach the charity. Charity is give what you have, and what we are saying here, what you have is your love, your compassion, your willing of help. Not saying here, give money, give you clothes, and that's it. I give you 10,000, that's it. No, it's really bother what's going on with someone. Go ahead, Wanley.
No, it's here, and the spirits, they say to us that until we don't learn charity, until we don't learn how to act fraternally with the others, Earth will not really go to the next stage, the next level. So we always are talking about this in the Spiritist movement, about the planetary transition, and the spirits live quite clear here that once everyone learns how to practice charity and fraternity, Earth will change, because people, they are changing on Earth. So Earth will go to the next stage. Will become a blessed realm where only goodness will exist. So here we are living at a time where we see violence, where we see racism, where we see wars, and we are saying, the government does not do that. The politicians, they are robbing us, or the criminals, they're killing each other, and blah, blah, blah. I understand the people, they're doing that. I understand that. I completely agree. But at the same time, what are we doing in our realms? So yes, a politician may steal money from us, but what do I do in my daily life? Am I really practicing charity? Am I being really honest with my neighbors? Or once I have the chance, I'm taking advantage of someone else? Or once I have the chance, after I live the life here on Tuesdays or in the Spirit Center on Sunday, I go and judge my neighbor. So the spirits are saying quite clear to us, until we don't learn this, Earth will not change, because we will not change. So, and they are saying, like, we had to take actions. And which actions can we do? And someone may say to me, but Vanelli, I'm a simple person. I'm not a politician. I'm not Givaldo Franco, who speaks for 5,000, 10,000 people, whatever. I'm not this kind of person. That's okay. But what can you do once you have the chance? To help someone, to practice really a small act of charity, such as looking at someone in the street, even if you're not giving anything to that person, and even if you're not saying any word to that person, in your mind, you're not putting that person down. You're not thinking that you are better than that person. You are thinking, he's my brother. He's there. He has his life. If I can, perhaps I'm going to try to do something to them. If I can't, that's okay. At least I'm going to send a good thought. So the spirits here, they are asking us to take upon actions and not be hypocrites anymore, and not only be saying words, but that's difficult for us to do. That's really difficult. But he says here in the end of the message that until we don't do this, we're gonna be in the same level. And he says also that we should follow the example of Jesus. You know, and that is here actually in the other. Yeah, I think what's her name, Elizabeth de France. She says to us, what would you say if you saw someone on the street who perhaps is an unfortunate person? If Jesus was there, Jesus would try to help that person. Jesus would grieve to that person. But she says to us, yes, we can't do this in this level that we are yet. Yes, we cannot act like this, Jesus. But she says to us, at least we should try to do our best, sending a good vibration, try to do something, even if you cannot act like him yet. But she's asking us to do the best. And I believe a lot of us, we think we are doing the best. And that's when it comes to the parable of the second mile. Are we really doing enough? If you go to bed and if you say, okay, I did the best I could, happy days. But I believe most of us, once we go to bed, we say to us, if you are really honest, I could have done more, but we don't. So what I'm trying to say is, let's try to follow the good model that we have. And if we cannot get even close to him, at least let's be honest and try to do our best. Let's take some actions towards fraternity, towards charity, and towards goodness. And then to everyone, not only to ourselves. I think, yeah, that's the part.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good one, yes. We can say, for example, we need to have our self-love, okay? But at the same time, if we do not love, it's difficult to you when you say you need to love. I don't love my neighbor, don't love him. But if you still do not love, you need to do something good. And what Wanderlei said here is exactly, we need to stop judging and start to help everyone. Like, for example, the situation when we had the COVID, the first time, the first lockdown, everybody was helping everyone. We saw that everyone knows what need to do. Because at that time, we saw people singing on their balconies. We saw people leaving food on the roads to give to the truck drivers. We saw little notes in the mailbox asking, hey, if you need something from groceries from the shop, I'm going. Don't stay home. I will gonna get for you. We saw a lot of these actions. But imagine we didn't have COVID and we live in a world people acting like that. That's the first step, what we are saying here. Out of blue, your neighbor just step up in his balcony and start to sing beautiful songs. Why? No, because I want to share these beautiful songs to everyone who is listening to us. You know, if a neighbor you don't know, you just moved in, someone, well, hey, come to my house, let's have a cup of wine, let's chat, let's meet each other, let's introduce my family to you. And we don't see this. Get that picture. The first time we had COVID, imagine a world without COVID, but everybody acting like this. This is what we're talking about here. When we see this action among humankind, I would say to you, this is the first step towards a regenerated world. It's not because we had a COVID, we overcome the COVID, we are alive, we didn't die. Oh, we are going to the no, we are far from it. Vanderlei and I said many times we are far from regenerated world. But when we see these actions without anything pushing us to do it, then we can say, well, we are reaching generated world. Because, again, Vanderlei, you love to say this, is not the planet will reach generated world. Is the people who live in that planet will reach generated world. Once we understand that everything it's depends on us, on our actions, on our abilities, on it's us. Like, oh, we just had COP26. They produced documents for do not damage Amazon, to reduce the carbon. Yes, but we only have these actions because we use those natural resources without thinking about tomorrow. This is not things from, let's say, God. This is things from us because we needed to fix this. We needed to make agreements to reduce whatever carbon rate to this because we are damaging ourselves. So we are fixing our own problems. We see all these weather, climate change. Why? Because we did this. It's a reaction of our action. We didn't think like, oh, we needed to think about us tomorrow. Remember, we will reincarnate and we have higher, strong, very robust chance to reincarnate in this world again. So, what your actions today will reflect in you tomorrow. I'm not saying tomorrow, today, 10 days, and no, I'm saying tomorrow, next reincarnation, which I don't know how long gonna be, but the world you are building today is the world you're gonna live in your next incarnation. So what do we want to find here? And we don't act like this. We think that everything is gonna finish today. That's why our fight today, it was this in item 13. At the time of Jesus, no, after Jesus, we have all these Christians dying in the arenas. And nowadays we evolved. We don't need to die in the arena anymore, but we needed to fight against selfishness, pride, and vanity. These are the three things we need to fight: pride, selfishness, and vanity. That's it. Eliminate these three things from your life. Happy days. Job done.
Job done for this stage. Let's be clear.
Yeah, exactly. But that stage is going to be a little bit easier, I think, because we have eliminated selfishness, pride, and vanity. We are kind of in a better position. But let me know, guys, what you think about it. Put your opinion here. We're very quiet today. Let us know what you think. We have here Patrocinio, Michele, Bruce. Please tell us what you think. Please give your comments. Let us know what you think, or we are talking nonsense here.
Stevan, I just once we think of, we are talking about certain things here, I like to go to the item 15, where I think the spirit of Lamennais again brings a very important point. Sometimes we say in society that a good criminal is a dead criminal, especially in Brazil. People, they say that quite a lot.
Yeah,
Okay? So we try to be the judges of the criminals. I'm talking about proper criminals, people who kills, people who perhaps steal, who rapes. And here, the spirits, they ask, like, if a man who is a criminal is in danger of death, if we should save this man's life. And the spirit of Lamennais is such a high evolved spirit, but he's very humble. He says that that's a very serious question. And a spiritist may face this question in the future. So I will respond in accordance to my moral advancement. So he's not saying that's the truth and that's it. I believe he could have said that, but he's being humble. He's saying, I'm going to be saying that to you according to my moral advancement. So he's not trying to, not pretending, he's not really saying that's the only way. But let's remember that Lamennais is a spirit who is very close to Jesus. He's a follower, you know. He's a spirit who is in a much higher stage. And he says one thing to us: devotion is blind. What he's trying to say to us here, like, if you can help someone, even that the person is a mean person, do it. I'm going to try to simplify here. Why? Because we have the habit of saying like this: oh, I'm going to be charitable, as we were talking before, for those who I believe they deserve. But who deserves charity? Everyone deserves charity. I'm going to be nice with those who are nice with me. If that person not nice with me, I'm not going to be nice. But everyone deserves kindness. I'm going to be only honest in a country or in a place where the government are honest with me. But everyone deserves honesty. Everyone, all our actions should be honest, despite of what the state does with us or what the others does with us. So Lamennais, he's saying here to us that if we had the chance to save that person, that criminal, we should do it. So if we have the chance to help someone, even if that person, according to society, does not deserve our help, we should do it. Because inside of us, we have that voice, which perhaps Jesus would say, you can save that person. Because whenever Jesus was here on earth, he never went to the person and said, okay, does that person need my help or not? Is that person good enough? Let me think. You are a criminal, I'm not going to help you. Oh, you're a bad guy. No, I'm not going to help you. He never said that. Let's give me a very strong example. If Jesus could be, let's say, in a situation that he was on earth and he could see, let's say, Adolf Hitler or any crazy one that we've had in our society, if he could, I'm sure he would help that person. Even if he knew what he would do it. Even if he knew what he did. Why? Because he understands that each one of us, we are in different stages. Yes, a criminal is committing something now that perhaps I'm not going to do it. I have the moral knowledge for that. But that person does not have. But that moral knowledge that we have does not give the right to us to say, I'm not going to help you. We're not talking here about breaking the law. If that person committed a crime, that person deserves to go to the jail according to the law of that society, of that country, that's true. Let's do it. But we are not here to judge them, to take their lives. We are not here to make their burden even heavier. If a judge says you need to stay 30 years in prison, you're going to be 30 years in prison. But it's not going to be me who's going to be looking at that person and say, you deserve that. You did this, or blah, blah, blah. I'm going to try to make your life miserable. No, that's Lamennais saying it's the completely opposite. If you cannot even perhaps help that criminal, let's send a good vibration to them. But good vibration to a criminal, you may ask me. Yes. To what? To that person. To maybe perhaps to repent in the future. Do not commit that crime anymore. When Chico Xavier went to a prison in Uberaba, I think in the 70s, the director of the prison said, but Chico, you are going to see rapists, criminals, these people that you want to see and help, these people, they killed people. What are you doing? And Chico said to them, look, I know he did that, but that person deserves kindness also. He deserves the right to the punishment of society according to the law, but that person deserves kindness also. And Chico understood maybe that person is committing that crime now, but that person before probably was worse. So Chico could see that person, that action as an evolutionary action. But then you may ask me, Wanderlei, but how come to kill one person? It's an action of evolution. Maybe for that spirit who used to kill hundreds of people before, to kill only one or two now, it's a action of evolution for that spirit in particular. So Lamennais is trying to say to us, we should help each other and help everyone without distinction. That's basically the idea. What do you think, Stevan?
No, I agreed. I just come up to my mind almost the same example. Chico Xavier used to go to the prison and pray with the prisoners and all this. And someday, a person just approached Chico and said, "Hey, you must see, you are not afraid because you go to the jail. There is a lot of obsessors there. There are a lot of people like this." And Chico said, "Did you see too many obsessors, Chico?" And Chico said, "No, I didn't see anyone." And the person said, "How could? Because there is no obsessor there, because jail is the final stage of obsession. So the obsessors reach their goal, so they don't need to obsess anybody anymore." So transfer this to ourselves is we don't need to start judging anyone in order to put someone down and hurt their self-esteem. Because when we do this, we are incarnated obsessors.
Steve, I just want to know that the same situation, I'm talking about the same day. This day which Chico went to the prison happened so many things. Yeah, I'm talking about the same episode. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a question here for Leah. You are both making great sense. Question. I want to study spiritualism on my next incarnation. How to do this? Leah, starting today, I would say you have to start today. You have to study, you have to understand, and you have to practice. Study is one thing, practice is another thing. And you need to practice this because remember, this is evolution. When you start doing today, studying, acquiring these knowledges and practicing, but remember, as much as you know, as much they're gonna ask you.
You're gonna be responsible.
So it's going to increase your responsibility. But if you start today, there is a great chance you keep going this study, and as much as keep going in your study, your responsibility going to increase. More responsibility, more difficulties. Why you have these difficulties? In order to test what you have studied, make sense, and you put in practice. How you measure a student if the lesson was well learned, you need to give a test. You need to give a test. That's the only way you can measure if he or she achieved the minimum goals. Is the same thing. This test is the challenge we have to face in our life. And I would say, Leah, because you are studying this, you are watching our lives, you are interested, you are studying this, you perhaps will start this journey your previous lives and you will keep studying. Every incarnation you are learning something new, every incarnation you are learning something different, every incarnation you are improving something, or every incarnation you are um, When you say stop in a position, you are
stuck.
stuck in a position because you needed to learn some kind of lesson you didn't know. So I'm saying you are studying Spiritism or spiritualism many incarnations. Every incarnation you are progressing, my dear. So that's how things works. And once we learn this, we need to see the world in a different way.
Stevan, I'm going to make a comment for what you said about Tulia now, because Bezerra de Menezes, once he encountered the Spiritism for the first time, and that was like more or less in the time of Kardec, maybe 5 or 6 years later in Brazil. That's why some people, they call Bezerra de Menezes the Brazilian Kardec, in a nice way, okay? Bezerra, once he started to read the Spiritism, he said, it makes a lot of sense to me. So it's like he was saying that, like if his spirit was being prepared before. It matched from what Stevan said. If we want to study reincarnation in the next life, we should start now. But be sure that if you are having the chance of knowing more about reincarnation nowadays, if you are having the chance to get in touch with the teachings of Jesus, not in a perhaps in an old traditional religious way, which we are not here to judge, but perhaps with more clarity, understanding the parables, understand the meaning of certain things that he said, probably before you asked for it. You asked, okay, I would like to grow, maybe in a country, doesn't matter which country, like to born, but at some stage in my life, I would like to study Spiritism. I'd like to study this philosophy. And André Luiz says to us that each one who passes away in the umbral, in the lower zones, who had a simple knowledge of some kind of spirituality in their hearts, once they go to the spiritual world, and let me be quite clear, we are not talking about Spiritism, but André Luiz says some kind of spirituality. So maybe someone who was a Buddhist, who was a Muslim, a Catholic, but they have that in their hearts. But they have that not only to be being seen nicely in society. They have that truly in their hearts. They have the wishes to become good, the wish to learn more about their philosophy. André Luiz explained that spirit, once it goes to the spiritual world, has some facilities, not because he believes in something, not only because of that, because his mind opened up, because he was wondering before how things worked. What is God? Like Kardec asks, not who is God, but what is God? Is there a life after death? What happens to me once I pass away? So all these kind of questions, if we started to ask before, and if we are asking now, like Stevan said, I'm just trying to be more in fact on this, we have the chance to perhaps in the future to be born in a Spiritist family or in a religious family, doesn't matter if it's a spirit or not, where their real wish is to know the truth, is to practice charity, is to become good people, better spirits. So I think, like Stevan said, Leah, we have to start today. And we believe that the works of Spiritism helps quite a lot. But if anyone here, they like to study Buddhism, for example, which I really admire, or if they like to study the Alcoran, that's fine. There is not only one side of truth. God has given to us many different leaves, but from the same tree. That's what I believe. We have a lot of options. It's up to us. Some options, like Spiritism, they're gonna reach our brain a bit more sometimes, because it's gonna reach our sense of science or philosophy, or this. It makes sense to us. But some people, they're gonna be touched more in the religious aspect. That's fine. But we have to try to study something and not only allow life to passing by without wondering what comes next. Because André Luiz says, all of those spirits who come to the spiritual world, who never cared about the spiritual life, they are the ones who suffer the most. Because first, once they go there, they don't believe in anything. Once they are there, they start to realize that the life exists after death. They start to think they are in a dream, or that's hell. There is no way of them to get from there. If they knew that they have only to elevate their vibration, us asking for help, asking for kindness of God from the bottom of their heart to see themselves in a different situation, their life would be much easier. What do you think, Stevan?
No, perfect. It's making huge sense, and just to make a like the final comment in terms of judging. For example, let's see. You saw an accident, okay? Let's say this car fall in a river, and there are two people inside of the car. One is the mom, and the other is a child. Okay, and you decide to jump in the water, but you only have a breath to rescue one person. I would say most of us will choose to save the baby. I don't know, but let's say we're gonna save that baby, and that baby in the future will be a very bad person, a very bad element in the society. What I'm saying here is you don't ask what that person gonna be, what's the curriculum of that person. You just jump in the water and you rescue. At the moment you decide to jump in the water and rescue, you act as without judging. This should be how we need to help everyone. This is what we are saying. No judgment. This is what we are saying here, Leah.
Sorry.
Start today. No matter. Everything okay?
No, I was just going to ask you if I could tell something really nice of what Givaldo said once, because it reminds what you said. Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, my friend. But Givaldo was saying once that there was a man who was asked to save a baby, a mother who was having a baby. And once he got there, after he gave birth to that baby, he realized that the baby was a lot of physical problems. And that was in the 20s in America, in a very poor place. And that man, he took the baby, he was going to throw the baby in the rubbish. Once he took the baby in his hand, he was walking, he heard a voice. Why do you care if that baby's gonna be alive or not, if it's gonna be a cripple in the future? You are here to save his life, so do it. And he thought it was quite strange. And he said, okay. And he left the baby with the mom, he helped the mom, and he left even some money. And just to make that story quite short, around 35 years later, his granddaughter was really sick, and he was searching for all the help in America he could, but no one could help him. And he heard about a man in Germany, and that man was a very special doctor, was specialized in children. And once he got there, he saw that doctor was a cripple. And that doctor had the same problem that the other baby had. The feet of him was not like this straight, it wasn't behind his feet. And his leg was very twisted. And once he saw that, he remembered that baby. And he asked, where are you from? And he told him about that city in America, I think it was in New York. And then after talking to the doctor, he realized that that same doctor that was saving his daughter now was that baby that he he allowed to live. Not allowed, but he was like he didn't judge, as Stevan said. He didn't care if he was going to be a creep or not. He was there only to save the life. And what I'm saying is this: sometimes life gives these turns on us that whoever we are judging in the future is going to be the one who's going to be helping us, and it happens quite a lot. Sorry, Stevan. It's just to remember that thing which Val said.
That's it. We don't know. Like Gabriel says here, the baby will have many opportunities to change along the way. So, yeah, we should help. We need to help. We need to do something. But this baby could be an old man or a young man. We need to help. We need to not judge. We need to support everyone. Like we said, remember that solidarity, fraternity we saw at the beginning of the pandemic? That should be the ideal word. But without COVID, without anything, that's that kind of help. We must see in order to tell someone we are going to regenerate the world. Okay. I think we are done for today, my friend.
Yep.
And with that, we finish chapter 11 and we'll start chapter 12 next week. Love your enemies. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Difficult one.
Yeah, you have any consideration?
No, it was really nice to have people interaction tonight, and it's nice to again to have the opportunity to be talking about Spiritism here every Tuesday. For me, at least, it's I wouldn't say a pleasure, but an opportunity. I'm so thankful. So yeah.
Yeah, we kind of learn more than we.
Pretend we
We're not
know.
here teaching anything. We don't teach anything. We are just discussing our point of view. But with discussing our point of view, we learn more than anything. Okay. So thank you, Patricio. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you for your interactions. And then everybody, because we see more people are listening us, are seeing us. So thank you for your time. And Andre, can you
Sure.
do the final prayer?
Let's close our eyes. If you feel comfortable doing that, so let's take a deep breath. Let's try to remember the teachings of the Master, the teachings of forgiveness, of kindness, of charity and love. The time that he spent with us, trying to make us aware that perhaps it's better to be the one who suffers than the one who causes suffer. Let's remember the day that he was on earth with us, trying to make humanity aware of the next stage that we're about to go through. But also, let's remember his kindness once he was dealing with all of those whom society left on the side. And let's, if not do exactly like him, at least let's try. Let's try to follow his examples. If today we cannot love those who have caused any trouble to us, let's at least not give to them what they gave to us, all the harm they have caused to us. Let's remember that our model only taught us love and forgiveness. And if we cannot practice that yet, Let's try our best. Let's remember his love. Let's remember all the good things that he brought to us. And he's still caring about us. Let's remember that he's the great spirit who is supporting earth at this time, now, right now, even with famine, even with war, even with COVID. He's there helping us. But he's asking our help also. And if we cannot do the same like him, let's do our best. Even if our best is small, such as a dot in the space or a little dot of sand in the beach. But if that's our help and that's our best, let's do it. Thank God, and so be it.
Thank you. Thank you, Oslo. Thank you for your presence here with us as well. My friends, I wish you a wonderful rest of the day. And I'll see you tomorrow with the Spiritual Light Show. Okay?
Bye, guys.
Andrei,
Good night.
once again, thank you, my friend.
See you guys. Thanks, Stevan.